Hi everyone, welcome back to a new post today, and today let's look at day 16 with regard to your most important preliminary points for the UPSC upcoming examination of 2025. That's June 6th, 2024. So the very first thing that we will discuss is about Telemanas helpline. Now what is this helpline about? It is about a mental health care service that was launched by the Government of India under the National Mental Health Program in the Union Budget of 2022 on the World Mental Health Day of October 10th, so which falls on October 10th. Now it is abbreviated as Telemanas, which means tele mental health assistance and networking across the states. It is launched by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare in October 2022 on the day of World Mental Health Day, and it aims to provide free tele mental health service all across the country, round the clock, particularly catering to the people in the remote underserved areas. It is a toll-free 24/7 helpline number, which is 14416, and is available as a part of this initiative. Now, mental health crisis in the wake of COVID-19 was recognized, and there was urgent need to establish a digital mental health network to withstand the challenges amplified by the pandemic. Government of India therefore announced the National Mental Health Program in the Union Budget of 2022. So this is about Telemanas, a comprehensive mental health care service by the Government of India, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. And the next one is about a new CM for Odisha was going to be appointed on that very day. And let's look into the articles with regard to the Chief Minister and the Council of Ministers. So Article 163 says that there shall be a Council of Ministers with the Chief Minister as the head to aid and advise the governor in the exercise of his executive functions. You have Article 164, which speaks about the appointment of the Chief Minister by the governor and the other ministers on advice of the Chief Minister by the governor, and other conditions of service with regard to the ministers as well. Article 165 deals about with the Advocate General of the state. Article 166 says that all executive action of the state government shall be expressly taken in the name of the governor. Article 167 deals with the duties of the Chief Minister with respect to furnishing of information to the governor, and Article 168 says that there shall be a legislature which shall consist of the governor and the legislative council and the legislative assembly. So these are the articles related to the Chief Minister. And the next most important is about TB to be ended by 2025. So this is the goal of government with regard to TB Mukt Bharat. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched a TB Free India program to eliminate tuberculosis by 2025, 5 years ahead of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals of 2030. Now Pradhan Mantri TB Mukt Bharat Abhiyan was launched in September 2022. TB causes the largest deaths in the country of all the infectious diseases, and therefore government is working with the iron hand to tackle the TB problem. Now, according to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, all the nations have to set the goal of eliminating TB, eradicating TB by the year 2030, and we are 5 years ahead. Now, Government of India set the target of eradicating TB by 2025. So therefore, recently this was a news because the government is now re-looking into TB protocol, because the TB elimination has plateaued, and we are going to we are just few months away for 2025, where the government has the goal of eradicating TB from the country, and therefore the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare is now re-looking into the TB protocol to look into the details, because the TB elimination has plateaued. So the next most important is about African National Congress. Now, why was this a news? Because there was elections in the South Africa, the country, an African country, and it is a political party in South Africa. Originally, it participated in the liberation movement, known for its opposition to the apartheid, and also governed by the country since 1994, when the first post of apartheid election was resulted in Nelson Mandela being elected as the president of South Africa. Africa. Now, it was the news because it went to elections, but it did not get a majority and therefore is forming a government with the alliances. So the African National Congress has failed to garner a majority and needed the support of the coalition partners to surpass the 50% votes and form a government. Now, the Democratic Alliance, the main opposition party whom it is counting on, has received the second highest number of votes, and other parties are MK and EFF. So from South Africa, India has adopted many features in the Indian constitution. For example, with regard to the amendment procedure, 2/3 majority to be passed to pass a constitutional amendment bill, and also the elections of the members of the Rajya Sabha on the basis of proportional representation. The next most important is about the Human Rights Watch charging Israel of using white phosphorus. So white phosphorus creates light and smoke distractions to help the troops to conceal or to hide their movements. It is packed into an artillery tube or a bomb in the form of solid phosphate rocks and fired from ground or air, igniting upon contact with oxygen and also heating up almost to 1500 degrees Fahrenheit. The other main type of the phosphorus is red phosphorus, but it is not so toxic. Now, fired into Gaza, which is one of the most densely populated areas of the world, home to almost 2.3 million people, white phosphorus projectiles have significant chances of hitting the innocent bystanders and also hurting them, creating deep wounds of burns. So anytime that the white phosphorus is used in crowded civilian areas, it poses a risk of intensifying burns and also lifelong suffering. Now, the United States used white phosphorus in 2003 in the Iraqi war, and as the head of the international coalition spearheading the fight against the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria. Now, white phosphorus is not defined as a chemical. We do have a chemicals weapon convention, because its lethality comes primarily from the heat and not from toxicity, but that distinction does not make any difference when it comes into contact with human body, because it can burn down the tissue up to the bone and causing irreparable respiratory damage as well, leading to organ failure as well, and even minor injuries can become very, very lethal if they are not treated on time and the white phosphorus is not removed from the human body. Now, the United Nations Conventions on certain conventional weapons prohibits the use of weapons primarily designed to set fire to objects or causing burns and injuries to the civilians. White phosphorus use could also violate the state's obligation under international laws to take all feasible precautions to avoid civilian injury and the loss of life. Now, Human Rights Watch is a non-governmental organization, an international non-governmental organization which is headquartered in New York. It has accused Israel of using white phosphorus on Gaza and said that it violates the international convention and also is liable for punishment. So it cited the conducts of the research and said that it has violated the convention of the United Nations with regard to using of white phosphorus. The Human Rights Watch is an international non-governmental organization which is headquartered in New York, and it fights for the rights of people. Especially in 1997, this organization, HRW, shared a Nobel Peace Prize with the founding member of International Campaign to Ban Landmines. So this is about International Human Rights Watch, and the next one is about Europe celebrating Normandy landings. Now, this was occurred in June 6, 1944 under one operation called as Operation Overlord, and this day led to the liberation of Europe from the Nazi Germany, and the landing of the Allied troops heralded the liberation of Western Europe from the Nazi rule. The invasion was called as Operation Overlord, saw thousands of troops from the countries including United States, United Kingdom, Canada landing on 5 stretches of the coast of Normandy, which is located in France, and codenamed Utah, Omaha, Gold, Juno, and the Sword Beaches. Now, D-Day, it's called as D-Day, which is a military code name for day, where the forces landed to liberate Europe from Nazi, and this became a successful operation. Therefore, Europe celebrated 80 years of Normandy landings on June 6, 2024. And the final important point for the day is gene therapy. Now, what is gene? Now, genes contain the DNA, which is the code that controls much of the body's characteristics, form, and also the function. DNA controls everything from your hair color, the height, breathing, your walking, digestion of the food, each and every characteristic feature of you as a human being. Genes don't work properly, can cause diseases, and sometimes these genes, which are called as mutations, need to be altered or removed. Gene therapy aims to fix this faulty gene and replace it with healthy genes so that they can cure the disease and also make the body much able or stronger to fight the disease. It holds a promise for treatment of wide range of diseases like cancer, cystic fibrosis, heart diseases, diabetes, hemophilia, and also AIDS as well. So this is about gene therapy and few more important points for your day 16 with regard to June 6 for your UPSC upcoming preliminary examination of 2025. If you did feel these points are really helpful to you all and really important, please do like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to comment at the end of the video, and I shall see you in another new important post tomorrow, and until then, it's very happy learning.